We're in Stevenage at the headquarters of Azure Dynamics, the makers of the Transit Connect Electric. I'm talking to Gary Whittam, Sales and Marketing Director for Europe. Gary, first off, could you give us a bit of background into the connection between Azure Dynamics and Ford?
Yeah, Azure Dynamics are Ford's global partner for commercial vehicle electric solutions, and they provide the force drive technology that goes into the Connect, the well-proven Connect platform in both Europe and in North America.
Okay, and just turning to the Connect itself, it's now actually on sale, is it?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been taking orders since January. The vehicle, its job one was in June, late June this year, and now we're ready to go.
Okay, and what sort of range and power are we talking about here?
Well, the vehicle's got a 28 kilowatt hour lithium-ion battery, which will provide a range fully loaded between 60 and 80 miles.
And what sort of payload does it have?
Well, the vehicle will take a 575 kilogram payload, but clearly you have to allow 75 kilograms for the driver. So 500 kilograms of usable payload.
Okay, and what sort of reaction are you having from customers you've been talking to?
We've been overwhelmed. We expected a good response because Connect is a popular van across Europe. But we've been overwhelmed by customers who want to take this technology, see it as a mainstream product, see it as a real solution to their diesel van fleet.
What sort of production figures are we talking about?
Well, we're treating the market very cautiously, and clearly there's no historical data to support the sale of a commercial vehicle powered by electricity. So we're treating the market as we're careful who we sell the vehicle to. We want to make sure the vehicle will go to the right customer, be operated in a way that gives them a completely seamless operation from their diesel. But we generally expect to sell between 300 and 500 in the first 12 months, and then grow the volume from there. But it's important to understand we're growing the volume cautiously, so that we make sure the vehicles go to the right customers.
What sort of life expectancy can we expect from this?
Well, our strategy is very clear in that we only want to produce the same number of batteries as vans, and we want the vehicle to last as long as it can as a van. We want the battery to last as long as it can in the vehicle as a battery, and then we want the battery to be a battery after it's finished its life as a vehicle. But typically we expect the van to last 10 years. And at 10 years the battery still has 80% of its capacity remaining. So for example, a postman that does 54 miles a day, even at 10 years that vehicle will still be able to quite comfortably handle that range.
Lastly, what sort of customers are actually looking to buy this vehicle?
Well, we're actually talking to three types of customer. We're talking to the green companies, ranging from power companies all the way through to those particularly sensitive to the environment, and they were probably well recognised by all of us. Interestingly, we're also dealing with companies who may not necessarily have a green agenda, but have seen fossil fuel rise to a price where they no longer can plan accurately for the next 5 years. And the last group are those that may not have a green agenda, but if they want to operate in a city centre, which is becoming increasingly restricted and taxed, then they need a green solution. So it's across the range, but it's divided into those three groups.
Realistically, when do people look at getting the cost back of their initial outlay?
Well, if we take a very pessimistic view and we use pretty general data, urban fuel consumption, a flat line of fuel cost in terms of diesel, etc., we can get the break even typically around the end of the third year, early part of the fourth year. But it's important when analysing break-even data that you use customer data. So customers will have their own views of what their diesel vans use in terms of fuel. They'll have their own maintenance and repair costs. And we're advising customers to use wherever possible their data. But I go back, if we use our data, and members of the media tend not to believe our numbers anyway, Neil, don't they? If we use our data, then it's at the end of the third year, beginning of the fourth. But realistically, you should look at this vehicle as a long-term investment, because quite clearly once it's paid for itself, the benefits are enormous, even considering the fuel increases that we expect.
Gary, thank you very much.